All right, so I'm going to go over doTERRA, give you a little intro here as to what we're all about and how we got started. doTERRA means gifts of the earth in Latin. And my background, actually, for those who do not know me, how my essential oil journey began. I was actually 5 months pregnant and I was living in Connecticut. That's my husband on the top left. And we were basically up there. I had headaches, back pain. I was working in natural health with a company, organic food company, loving the holistic world. My background's actually in corporate America, and I had really made a huge life change and was working with Dr. Josh Axe. If you're into natural health, he's got a great website, draxe.com, and he's a personal friend. And when I was pregnant, the company I was working with actually got sold, which I had been working from home, and I was really devastated at the time. I was 2 months pregnant when that happened. And so I did not have a desire to move on to where the company did get sold. And I did not want to go back into the corporate world, and I didn't know what I was going to do and felt really stuck. We needed two incomes. Connecticut's super expensive. My husband was working 70 hours a week. And I reached out to my friend Josh, and he is the one who actually introduced me to doTERRA. I was using oils but didn't know anything about them, so I wasn't using them medicinally. I just had a few, and actually I did have a Young Living kit that a friend had sent me, and so I had just gotten those and was using those. Didn't know anything, and then he brought me into doTERRA and basically said, I've researched both companies, and I knew Young Living had been around longer, and I also knew doTERRA had really great things about it as well. And so it was really confusing for me online looking at both, and this is what a lot of people go through. And so he actually is the main influencer of why he showed me the differences in doTERRA in the very beginning. And so once I started using the oils, I knew I could smell the difference and right away. So that was clear that the oils are very different. They're not similar at all. And the companies themselves are also very different. So there's really not a lot of similarity when when it comes to culture and any of those things. So I started using them within 3 months. I was 5 months pregnant, and I was teaching classes really full time by the time the baby was born. So I did not have to go back into the corporate world. And I've been with doTERRA ever since. It's been about 3 years for me. So I hit Diamond in a year. And then I'm a Blue Diamond leader now. I retired my husband after 2 years. So he's actually doing this business with me. I'm really passionate about it just because I love oils and I love helping moms. And it's just been such a huge movement over the past few years with people wanting to use oils and get away from the whole synthetic drug, big pharmaceutical industry. And so that's my story. I use them every day, use them with my little baby. It really came and I'm pregnant now actually with number 2. So I'm due in about 3 weeks. And I really don't know what I would have done over the past couple years having a newborn and going through toddler life and all of that without using the oils on a regular basis. So feel free to reach out to me with any questions regarding using oils on kids and any of that. So I'm just going to go over what doTERRA does differently as far as other oil companies. And really what they're known for that separates them is indigenous sourcing. And this made a lot of sense to me actually when I was learning about it in the beginning and learning about plants and the chemistry behind plants and just the science that's involved with essential oils, because really this is science as far as the chemistry that we're working with and the chemical compounds and the therapeutic benefits that they have in these plants. And really most of what's out there in the essential oil world is synthetic. So, we see oils in so many different products, and they say they have essential oils in the body lotion, but they're just man-made many of the times in a lab. There's no therapeutic benefits. And so the next grade up would be like a food grade, which is generally regarded as safe to ingest. So this would be like a cake mix that you'd find in the grocery store. Anytime you're grocery shopping, and you're seeing essential oils in food. So they are, safe to ingest, but there's not a therapeutic benefit from having a gum that has essential oil in it, like peppermint chewing gum or something. Then you've got the therapeutic grade. So when you go get a massage, the masseuse uses an oil down your spine, you're probably not going to have an allergic reaction and you might experience some calmness and have a therapeutic benefit. And so there's other therapeutic grade oils that are going to give you therapeutic benefits. The problem, though, is that there is no industry standard, and so there's no one regulating essential oils. There's not an FDA regulating the essential oil industry. So people can say whatever they want and not get in trouble, and it really just comes down to who you trust. And every company has their own grade. And so whether it's Seed to Seal or Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, those are doTERRA Young Living's grades. That's their grade. And so that is the biggest thing. And I tell people, when you go and you pick up an oil at the health food store and it says 100% pure on it, and you're thinking, great, I have a pure oil, it just doesn't mean anything. There is no grade. There is no therapeutic grade, and they could have synthetics in there and they don't get in trouble whatsoever. And so, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, this is doTERRA's grade. So I'll tell you what they do. And Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, CPTG, every single bottle has a barcode on it, and you can actually pull up the testing from that liter of oil that was tested. So the main thing is they do third-party testing. So we have a huge team of in-house scientists that we do a lot of in-house testing as well. That's a huge thing of what doTERRA does. But they also send oils to third-party. And they also have a site called source2you.com where you can actually put in that barcode and you can pull up the testing. And if it's not up to their standards, they will not purchase that oil from the grower. And so that's how we maintain control. But so they do the third-party testing to guarantee that there's no synthetics, fragrances, fillers, it's free of contaminants, pesticides, chemicals. So they do Beyond Organic. Beyond Organic, I say, is because they test the final product. Organic, as far as food, is a good standard, and it's what we do, organic, but really it only has to be, I think, 85-90% ingredients need to be organic in order to get that certification. And so it's not the best. And unfortunately, you can still be having organic food, but we can still be eating GMOs because of cross-pollination, which is a huge problem as well. That's a whole nother story. But Beyond Organic, mainly being that they test the final product to make sure that there was no contamination in between the testing. And so that's huge. And so this is why doTERRA does certify the oils that can be taken internally for internal use, and they publish everything at Source2You. So that's a great site to go to so you can really learn about the purity aspect of their third-party testing. So that's really, really big on as well. And then here is the world map, and shows a lot of the countries that doTERRA sources from. And so when they started 8 years ago, they wanted to actually partner with growers across the globe who were actually in areas where these plants were growing indigenously. And this is where, with essential oils, no matter how pure they are, if you have a lavender growing in your backyard, because you can really grow lavender anywhere in the United States, if you have lavender growing in your backyard, if you have lavender growing in Utah, that is not the same as lavender that's grown where it's indigenous. So lavender is not indigenous here. It's actually indigenous in Europe, in the Mediterranean. So because of the climate and the elevation and the soil, that actually makes a huge difference in the plant. So same thing like with eating blueberries. If you go and just grab a blueberry that's grown somewhere versus one that's wildcrafted, the antioxidants are 3 times as high. So yeah, you may pay a little bit more for those blueberries, but if you go to your local farmer's market and you're looking for wild and organic, it's going to be a totally different nutrient dense fruit than if you just grab whatever. And so most people know that. Same thing with oils, and even more so because of the potency. So this is what affects potency. And when people that I've worked with have switched over, or maybe they've tried a peppermint from the store or somewhere, and then they try doTERRA's peppermint, they're blown away because it's so strong. And the potency is so high because they look for the chemical compounds based in the plants where they're actually native and thriving. So the vetiver comes from Haiti. Lemongrass comes from India. Frankincense has to come from the Middle East. We can't even grow frankincense here. So that's just such a powerful therapeutic oil. So you want to make sure that you're getting it where it's native. Myrrh comes from Ethiopia. There's a saying that it's not really a lemon unless it's from Sicily. So the lemon essential oil comes from Sicily. There's definitely a few that come from the States, like peppermint or basil, grapefruit from Florida. But a lot of these are sourced indigenously, and doTERRA partners with growers. So over 85, closer to 90% of doTERRA's oil is exclusive, meaning that nobody can actually get doTERRA's oil. We have exclusive partnerships with our Beyond Organic growers. And so that's a big thing. We're working on getting 100%. But all of these farms, doTERRA does maintain control. And if they aren't up to the standard, they test everything and they still have control over that. And so that's how they actually partner based on the region. They look for indigenous locations where these plants are thriving. And then they have the exclusive rights, and we work from the ground up with these growers. And so when you actually look at some of these countries, 2/3 of them are also third world. And a big part of their mission, and why I really feel that doTERRA has been so successful, they hit $1 billion in 7 years, and now they're almost $3 billion. So Facebook and Apple, to give you an idea, have hit $1 billion in 7 years. So we're tracking on the same page as Facebook and Apple. And 2/3 of these countries are actually third world countries, and meaning that they're completely destitute. A lot of times they go in, our partners in Haiti, where we source the vetiver, which is a deep, deep root, they were walking 3 miles every day to get water. So doTERRA came in and actually provided the water system for the community. There's frankincense right now. There's a big drought going on. And so a lot of frankincense growers are pressured to harvest sooner because that's their source of income. But it affects the plant and it affects the oil when you actually harvest before you're supposed to. And so doTERRA has actually gone in and already paid them in advance so that they can actually wait and harvest the plant when they're supposed to do it for the highest, so it doesn't affect the quality. And so that's the types of things that doTERRA does. When there was the big hurricane, in Nepal, when they had the big crisis, they actually go in and we source wintergreen from Nepal. And they're really, their heart is to just give back to these countries and impact them globally. And doTERRA is completely debt-free. This is a big deal. I'm not sure if that's the case with every essential oil company, but I know many of them are not. And so with doTERRA, they're completely debt-free. They're very big on being debt-free, and they hand over hundreds and thousands of dollars every year to co-impact sourcing. And so this is really the heart of it, and they're able to make a huge impact. Sometimes they just need schools or orphanages in these communities where they're going and partnering. And they're providing schools, they have orphanages. And so that's called co-impact sourcing, which is on the next page. And this was really part of their mission. And so they're sourced from 43 different countries. Last year, 18,000 jobs were created through co-impact sourcing. And they gave away about $3.5 million in donations to Healing Hands as their foundation. So if that's something that you're into, as far as if you're mission-minded, then you can actually look up co-impact sourcing and see how it is that they actually source with these communities to really make a difference. I want to bring up just their supplements right now. This is their #1 seller every month, which is funny because we're an essential oil company, but the Lifelong Vitality Pack is just an amazing thing to be able to offer to a new customer because of not only it has the essential oils in it, but the benefits you can actually really, most people notice a difference within 3 days to a week. But I like this because it's got all of your vitamins and minerals in it, your fish oils that have the essential oils in it, also your antioxidants like milk thistle, turmeric. And so for people who are super into supplements, like me, if you're a supplement junkie, this combines everything that you need and it's in whole food form. So it actually digests in your body like food. And it's not like the synthetic things that you get from GNC. And it's great for digestion. The only thing it doesn't have in there is a probiotic. I don't take a probiotic, but a lot of people do. So doTERRA has PB Assist. They have a lot of different supplements. But I bring this up just because it really does stand out. And a lot of people start off with the oils and they try the supplements too, and they get hooked on those. And then you've got the kids vitamins, the kids fish oil, and the PB Assist. That's it's like a pixie stick. There's no sugar in it, but they love it. And it's got some xylitol, which is good for the teeth, but that's really popular too for their kids line. And the probiotic is time released. It's a capsule. So those are just some really popular supplements, and they have a ton more, but I wanted to bring that up because a lot of people get on those. I'm just going to compare a couple of the price differences so you can see. With lavender, doTERRA's lavender is sourced from Bulgaria and France, where it's indigenous. Cost for a 15 milliliter bottle is $21. Young Living's cost is $23.50. So I'm going to go over just a few of the cost differences for wholesale pricing so you can see. Peppermint is $20 with doTERRA, $21.50 with Young Living. Our peppermint sourced from Washington. Lemon's coming from Sicily, $10 with doTERRA, Young Living. So those are about the same, a little bit less by a couple dollars. Oregano with doTERRA is $24. Young Living is $27. And then you've got Melaleuca, $19 with doTERRA, $26 with Young Living. Wild Orange with doTERRA is $10. Young Living is $10.75. Frankincense is $69.75 for a 15 milliliter bottle, and Young Living is $73.50. I believe that's for a 15 milliliter bottle too. And so you can see the price difference there. Balance oil. Valor is a popular oil with Young Living, and so people always ask about that. I'm not sure if there's any other oil or if there's like 2 different versions, but the price I saw was 5 milliliters, and it was $39.75, and it had black spruce, blue tansy, and frankincense in it. So doTERRA's Balance has the spruce and blue tansy and frankincense. They also have some cocoa or some chamomile oil in it, and that one's 15 milliliters, and that's $20. And so that's a pretty big difference, but they do smell different, but still more similar. And Balance is the grounding blend, and it is very popular as well. So that's like a staple. And then you've got Serenity with doTERRA. Now, the Peace and Calming with Young Living, these do smell different, but as far as therapeutic benefits, they do have several of the same oils. So you're going to see with Serenity, this is really popular with doTERRA. It's $30 for a 15 milliliter. It has marjoram in there, lavender, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang. It has sandalwood, and sandalwood is not an inexpensive oil, and some vanilla. And with the Peace and Calming, they have the ylang ylang, and I guess there's chamomile in the Peace and Calming too. But the 5 milliliter price, and I know this has been out for a while because people have talked about that, is $34.75, or the Peace and Calming 2 is $20.75. So those are the different oils. So you can see a lot of people use Serenity. The blend smells really good, and it has such a calming effect, and people use it for the same reasons. And it's going to have, and there's another oil called Console that has similar oils as well as Peace and Calming, but that's pretty much the transition into what is the comparison. So both Balance and Serenity are super popular oils. Deep Blue. So this one I actually have had people test a lot. Deep Blue is just an addicting oil with doTERRA. It has wintergreen in there, camphor bark, peppermint, blue tansy, blue chamomile, helichrysum, and osmanthus. And it's so popular. It comes in the 5 milliliter. It comes in the 10 milliliter roll-on, which is my favorite. It also comes in capsules, like an alternative to Advil. It doesn't have the wintergreen in the capsule, so it is a different, they call it the Deep Blue polyphenol complex. There are different things in there, but it's really good for inflammation or any type of cramps. And then the Deep Blue lotion. So all of those make up the Deep Blue line. And this would be $32 wholesale versus the Panaway, which is $35.25. And I've had people put a couple drops on one shoulder of Panaway, put a couple drops of Deep Blue on the other shoulder, and it's a very drastic difference as far as what you feel. But the Deep Blue is very strong. It works. This is the oil that converted me with headaches and also just with back pain. So it's been great during pregnancy. So people use this and they definitely get hooked. Then you've got doTERRA Breathe. Breathe is wholesales for $20. This would be in comparison to the RC. I've heard RC isn't as popular with Young Living, but maybe it is for you. I'm not sure. With Breathe and doTERRA is super, super popular. It's really just, the smell is awesome. And people will put it in their hands, rub it together, breathe it in, and they're amazed at how the potency is. And so this one has peppermint, laurel leaf, melaleuca, lemon, ravensara, cardamom. So different oils. And it's also very popular. They have Breathe respiratory drops, like cough drops. And then they have the Breathe vapor stick. Digestin with doTERRA. Again, I'm not sure if this is a popular one with Young Living, but this is definitely a top seller with doTERRA. It works really, really, really fast. And it's got ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, fennel. It's great to take internally. I always do like 2 or 3 drops and then also apply it topically if there's indigestion, heartburn. This would be compared to Digees, which has some different oils in there, but Digestin is definitely people that I know that struggle with digestive stuff. And anyone that I've had that maybe didn't believe in oils, and if they had like a stomach problem or if they had just heartburn, I'll give them a couple drops and say, here, shoot this. And then within like 30 seconds to a minute, it's gone. So this has been my pregnancy saver too, as you get closer to having the baby and just the acid reflux. I put on there the Digestin Touch. So the Touch means that it's pre-diluted for kids. This is a really popular one for kids and also for newborns to rub on their belly when they're having stomach upset. So the Touch line basically is the line for kids, and it's already diluted for them. So we have a lot of oils that come in the rollers, and so it's really nice because prior to having that, we would just dilute it ourselves with the coconut oil and do like a drop of Digestin and rub it on their tummy. Well, now you can just grab the Touch, and before I take my kid to preschool, I just roll the Touch on his neck, under his feet, and it's already diluted. So it's just super easy for moms. And then the Digest tabs are really popular. My husband's addicted to those. And they taste good and they freshen the breath. So Purify with doTERRA is 18, Purification, a little bit different oils, but it's $18.75. I know that's a popular one. All right, so On Guard, this is the comparison with doTERRA to Young Living's Thieves. So very different smell. And a lot of people that have used the Thieves before, when they switch over to On Guard, they're like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff because it's got the wild orange in it. So that's the main difference, is it's got clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, but they've added wild orange instead of the lemon. And it smells so good. It's so popular. They have an entire line. So they have the throat drops, they have the toothpaste, they have laundry detergent, On Guard cleaner concentrate, little beadlets that you can actually travel with, and they have the On Guard Touch for kids. So very popular blend to diffuse, also take internally, and apply it topically. Okay, so this just is, I'm going to show real quick the wholesale options. So with doTERRA, you do save 25% off the retail price when you have the wholesale account, which is pretty much what everybody does in doTERRA as a customer. Some of the starter kits have extra bonuses where you can get $100 back, $200 back, $400 back in points. And they give you up front and they show you actually on there. And then the kits are discounted. With the kits, then that's where you get the free diffuser. So the starter kits are more popular for people when they get their wholesale account with doTERRA. There are no future obligations to order. There's no minimums or anything like that with doTERRA. 85% of all customers in doTERRA do reorder. It's really high. And when they do reorder, they get the wholesale price. There's a ton of education. We do Empowered Life series from doTERRA. And then also it does make a difference as far as the support and the team that you're on. So we have a ton of education for customers as well. Online trainings on oils constantly, how to use them. We have private Facebook groups that are really active. So we really, really do support customers. Then the loyalty rewards program, this is actually what doTERRA is known for. And this is where you can get an additional 30% back on top of the 25%. And you get this back in points. And so you also get free shipping back in points. And they have a free oil every single month option. And so I have a little comparison here for loyalty rewards program versus the essential rewards, because I've looked at both of these. And with doTERRA, some of the kits do start you off higher is this percentage, because we have about 10 enrollment kits. And so if you chose the diamond kit, you're going to start off to 25%. Some of them start you off at 20%. Our mid-size kits start you off at 15%. But no matter what, if you just did a basic kit, you can start the loyalty rewards program the next month. So if you enroll in June, then in July, you can start loyalty rewards. And every 3 months that you do a loyalty rewards order, okay. Every 3 months that you do a loyalty rewards order, they're going to up you 5%. And there is no minimum to be in the program, but in order to increase to the next percentage, every 3 months that you do 50 points, they up you. So you can do lower than that. It just doesn't count towards one of the months to increase you to the next percentage. And so this is the best way to get oils going forward. We have a ton, I would say 70% of customers do go on loyalty rewards. So it's, once they understand it, it's really high. I've had people on this for 3 years and they won't come off of it because they're at 30% and they don't want to lose it. And so the shipping is only $3.99, but they give you free shipping back in points. So whatever you spend on shipping, if you spend $3, they give you $4 back in points. So they give you 4 points back. That's a huge perk. And you can do 2-day shipping. You can also overnight it. I've had people overnight because they got in a bind. And so overnight shipping is like $24. doTERRA actually gives you $24 back in points, which is awesome because you can literally get whatever you want and get points. So you always get the free shipping back in points. There also is unlimited loyalty rewards orders every month. So I always have my loyalty rewards order that goes out, but then I also, some months I need more stuff. And so you can go in as many times as you want. And every time that you would make an order, all you do is make it a loyalty order and you always are going to get points and you're always going to get free shipping back. So that's really nice. They give you unlimited amount to get points. And you do have a free oil every single month option. And so there is no minimum of what you want to participate in the program, but any month that you do 125 points or PV, point value, and oils are the same as points. So $125 and oils is 125 points. And so any month that you do a 125 PV order by the 15th, they're going to give you the free oil of the month. And so that's for every loyalty rewards members. And then, what else? I guess the difference, so within a year, if you just start off with a basic kit, within a year, you're at 30%, which is the highest. That's the whole goal of loyalty rewards, to get to 30%. So every time you order, you get 30% back. So you're constantly racking up a ton of points. And I have customers getting free Helichrysum, in Mattel, Sandalwood, Melissa, using their points. And so I did compare a little bit here. I'm not an expert on Essential Rewards because I never did it, but I do know that it takes about 2 years to get to 25%, which is the max. I think it used to be 20% and they upped it to 25%, but it does take you 2 years to get to that. And you have to order 50 points in order to actually stay on it. And then you're only allowed one Essential Rewards order per month. And then they also do not give you free shipping back. And one of my friends said some states tax you on the shipping, which I've never seen that happen with doTERRA. And so shipping costs, I know people complain of that a lot with Young Living. And so this is how doTERRA, we're actually moving towards complete free shipping. But right now they just give you back all your money in points that you've spent on shipping. And so that would be the differences. I've seen a lot of Young Living customers that have come over be very thankful about the loyalty rewards program because I think they switched a lot of things that weren't really working. So this is really, really popular, and this is just really the best way to get the most value going forward. And then they have like different packages. Like if you do the vitamins, which are really popular, if you add like people with families, if you want to add extra, like add a probiotic, you can do the kids vitamins, you can add things for $20 as long as that's your foundation. So they have like loyalty rewards savings and things like package deals. And let's see, other than that, 2 ways to get wholesale. Option 1, you pay $35 and you can get oils a la carte. Option 2 is choose one of the starter kits and you do not pay $35. I think that might be the same. 90% of people pick a kit just because they don't want to pay $35. There are about 10 different kits. I'm just going to show you some of the most popular ones. Natural Solutions is popular for new people because it does give you, it's $550. It's a mid-size kit. The most expensive kit you can get with doTERRA is about $2,500. That's every single product doTERRA carries, everything. So I can give you the link if you want to see it and compare. Natural Solutions is a mid-size kit, so that's $550. And this has all the basic oils: frankincense, lemon, lavender, digestin, On Guard, all like the top 10 plus Balance, Serenity, Clary Calm for hormones, Past Tense for migraines, the roller bottles, the HD Clear for skin. The vitamins are in there for free. That Aromalight diffuser, that's a $90 diffuser. That's in there for free. The toothpaste, the cleaner, the Deeply Rub, the Terrazyme are the digestive enzymes. And so that's the Natural Solutions where they give you $100 back and they start you off at 15% on the loyalty rewards program. And then these two kits are also really popular. Home Essentials kit is $275. Family Wellness kit is $275. And Home Essentials has the big bottles, which is the 15 milliliters. So big bottle of frankincense, peppermint, lavender, lemon, digestin, On Guard, Melaleuca, oregano, Breathe, and Deep Blue. Deep Blue comes in the 5 milliliter. But the diffuser's in there for free and you get the big bottles. We have other kits. We have a couple kits that are $150 that come with a diffuser or the 10 oils, but they do come in the 5 milliliter size. And so those are nice to actually get the free wholesale account. These ones are more popular because you do get the bigger size oils. The Family Wellness kit's also popular because you get the vitamins in the adults, but you also get the vitamins for the kids. And then you get the PB Assist Junior, which are the probiotics for kids that they beg for because I actually steal them sometimes because they taste so good. And then you also get the Touchline. Those are pre-diluted roller balls for kids. And so this is more geared towards kids because they're already diluted. So that's another popular one to switch over when you're looking for the Touchline for the babies and children. All right, it does make a huge difference when you're actually getting started with doTERRA, who you are attached to, and just having a safe place for people to feel understood, especially if there's been some just a lot of shocking things happening. And I know that it's a huge transition, and for people that are wanting to just have more transparency and switch over during this time, then it does help to have people who are going to be understanding and to be there and have actually done the same as you. And so we do have a lot of people, a lot of the leaders that we have had switched over from Young Living for different reasons. And so we're very sensitive to that, and we understand that it's a transition. And so we just want you to know that we are here for you to just reach out with any questions. And we do have the Facebook group, obviously, that's private. We have a 21-day drip that we filmed at Dr. Axe's house. And we're actually part of that's most of his family right there. So we're actually on his doTERRA team. He doesn't make anything from doTERRA right now because he can't because of the FDA, but he's very much in support of everything that we do. He loves doTERRA. And so major perks when you actually enroll with someone who is able to support you as a customer. How to get your oils, definitely just reach out about the starter kits to see which one's best and ask questions, because I'll post the link in the chat box. It's actually doTERRA.com, and you can look at the enrollment kits. And then also check the incentives for the month so that you get the best deal. And after I stop the recording, I will share what the incentives are right now, but definitely find out what they are for this month so that you can, not miss out on that, because they do really good ones. And then there's my number and my email. Again, if you just want to talk or if you have questions, if you're curious about anything, reach out to me and I will help you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Have a great night.